Hey everybody, this is Matthew Trum, Treetop Permaculture. Just thought I would give you a look at my design of the third acre lot in Oroville that I've been working on. This is a rough design really because it's been changing so much, so I just made this rough design primarily for this video, but it's the most current of everything in my design here, so I thought I'd go over that with you guys. Basically it's a real rectangular shaped lot, minus this one little spot here where it comes down and across like that, so there's a little chunk taken out of the corner right there of a perfect rectangle. But basically you come down here. This is High Street here, so this is the main road coming in, and the driveway is kind of funky. It's at this angle, which is awkward. But basically, when I got here, there was just some wood chips here, and the front yard was all wood chips. A really poor job of a Waterwise landscape rebate program. So they just stuck some like rosemary and lavender and lilies and, you know, some coyote bush or something over here, and some, I forget what was back here. We've got some bottle brush, the miniature bottle brush by the house. And so anyways, my design, well, and I guess I should explain the rest of the place. This was a fence that came across from the edge of the house. This is actually the garage, this area here. And the fence used to just cut across right here. And there was no gate. And here there was a gate on this edge of the house. There's a gate. But the meter for PG&E was right here, so the PG&E guy had to come all the way around the house to get to the meter. Not to mention this is a large area, about 20 feet. So I thought, let's set it back so the meter could be right here, because I redid the fence. I did a new fence around the whole yard, and then I went ahead and put in a double wide, 2 6-foot gates that open, so it's a 12-foot gate, easily to get a vehicle back here. So anyways, but that was basically just wood chips up to that point. There's a bush right here at the corner of the house, pretty big. And then the whole backyard, everything you see here, was just about 2 to 3 feet of weeds. Good beneficial weeds, so it was an indicator that we had good soil here. And then it was just a cyclone 4-foot fence around the whole yard, and right there into my neighbor's backyards. There was an existing ivy that was right here in this corner where it has that L shape to the property. So that was ivy, and yeah, and the whole yard was just weeds. And you know, it's a southern exposure here, and so you just get beat down. The house just gets beat down with heat. There's existing mulberry trees that were on the perimeter. Huge, giant, like 30-foot tall by like 100 feet wide mulberries that just dump incredible amounts of white and red mulberries, and then some kind of mixture variety. And so that was there. Also hanging over my fence was a citrus tree right here, a persimmon tree, and then there was some actually jujubes that I found out too in this corner, and there's a giant pecan right here, which is, you know, close enough to where I could get some pecans for sure dropping on my side. So that's all free. That's all with the property. But anyways, the design, I'll start from the front yard. The design here is I just continue with the wood chip situation here, because this will be a wood chip dump site for trucks to come in. So I'm going to keep that clear here for wood chips all the time, which I can then bring into the backyard. I decided I'm going to put a carport here. I haven't got to that stage yet, but I'm going to put a carport right here, and that is going to have gutters on the side at an angle, and so all the mulberries that fall will go into the gutters and roll down into buckets, which I'll change out almost every day. I'm going to come in closer here, you can see. So right here, you come inside the gate and have a water tank to collect water from this faucet, or from this gutter right here and this gutter right here. So that's going to be collected here, and the overflow will go into this channel that is in the backyard that goes all the way out into the system. So then I've got my trash here, recyclables. Then right here I've got a worm bin that'll be right here. So all my kitchen scraps and everything, because the house is right here, I can just come out, boom, right in there. And a sink right next to it, an outdoor sink, which I've already got plumbed, ready to go, because that again is right here near the back door. I put in a Chinese elm, which actually is going to fill this whole space here, so you'll be in constant shade going into this area. And then the backyard, this is actually a raised bed that's got a bunch of cacti, edible cacti and things like that. And there's a little bench right here, a picnic table. This is my front or back porch when you come out of the house. And basically, after I'm putting in this pergola. This is a pergola, slatted shade structure that's going to run the whole length of the southern exposure of the house. And it's almost done. And it's going to have raised beds in front of it. And there's also going to be a bunch of pots in it. And what's cool about this pergola is I'm going to be able to enclose sections like a greenhouse, just using some sort of thing like Velcro and plastic, like a hardened plastic kind of stuff, almost like window, glass, and that will then enclose sections. This section right here is going to be a solar dehydrator, so I'm going to actually be able to close off stuff. So it's all plug and play, like I can take it off, I can take this off. But stepping into the backyard, basically what I have going on here, I created all these swales, and these four really, but the first two rows all the way across, these are basically my mother plants, my close to the house food forest, like zone 2 food forest, which have all of my mother plants, perennials that are going to be extended through the system. And these 6 beds here are my vegetable main crop garden, and there's little arbors going across, little trellising, and there's vine crops that are going to be going across there. So when you come out into the yard, you have shade from the pergola. You walk anywhere you go in the garden, you'll have shade from this side or on this side, because this will be a tree that kind of takes up that, and you'll pretty much be shaded all around the yard. So, like I said before, there's a channel that feeds this whole system, so the water from the roof and everything, when that overflows and just all the rain that hits flows through here and gets fed into the system. Same on this side. Now this is the main rain tanks on this side of the house. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, or as many as we can fit back there really. And then both these gutters will be collected here. Overflow will then go into this first swale, feed that, overspill, feed that, and then overspill into the pond. Basically, I'm going to have to back up. Front of the property, These are just nature strips here, which will be converted into food strips. A fedge, beneficial for blocking out the view from the streets. So you have a little enclosed area in here. Fruit tree, a little raised bed with herbs and things like that. A bunch of good smelling herbs, lavender, rosemary, beneficials along the pathway. You have a little gate I'm going to put in there. So this will all be enclosed here. And then I want to have a farm stand, preferably something that I can hook up to a truck and take out of here so I can do farmer's market. And then in the front of that, I'll just have an easy up that I'll stick up on days that I am open. And so then I'll have like 4 little seats so people could sit there and go right up to the farm stand. There will be a little gate right here as well. Hedges going all the way along again for blocking view. But this gate will be wide enough because I can go to the backyard here, which I'm going to actually have our kayaks and things here in this location, and our bikes, so that we can just go out and go on a bike ride right there. It's a nice little spot. Behind the farm stand, a pathway, a big shade tree in the middle here, like I said, a little picnic table, like I said, herbs, things like that. You're gonna have an herb spiral because the kitchen is right here, so you can just come out the front door and like pick herbs, like all these and this, like all, you know, or from here, greens, because it's shadier here most of the day. So yeah, you can just come right out the door. But it'd be a nice little place to be. Some insectary hedge, mostly on this wall. And then yeah, there's the gate. You come back here. This is all a raised bed along the fence line. That's going to be mostly greens because of the fact that it's shadier most of the day there. So you walk in the back now, all the water flows. I put in a pond here. I haven't lined it yet, but I'm going to do that before the spring or for the winter. And it was the best spot because there's already that existing ivy. I planted some water plants and things like that, and I'll be putting fish in there and things, so that's great. And then yeah, and then that overspills all the way back into the first swale of the main food forest, which will be in the back. Decided to put in a lawn area here behind the garden for the kids mainly, and we got a fire pit right here. But that'll be something that I can actually cover so it's flat. So there's no worry about that. It'll be in the ground, and it'll be flat. And maybe eventually we'll have some sort of a rocket stove or something out there, bench, slat, you know, whatever. But for now, I think I want to keep it open. This is the open area. You know, we can play with the dog and stuff like that. We'll have a swing set right here, which is in the shade mostly here. So that's cool. Yeah, main food forest, you know, we got 3 swales, berries along the back fence. Here, again, we got all these fruit trees hanging over the fence, a persimmon. There's a mulberry here, which is a fruitless mulberry, but nitrogen fixation. It's probably going to major in mulberries, you know, just because I know that works so well. And they're no water, you know, except for when you establish them. So I'm going to have probably fruitless mulberries here because the lawn, but then back here I'm going to have different kinds of varieties of mulberries and figs and things that are easy, and probably some plums because I like plums. So anyways, and then let's see, we've got, yeah, all the mulberries. A shed here I'm going to put in. There's an existing slab that I can use, but I might actually move it over a bit and use the slab for the chickens because it's under the mulberry, and so that's going to be a big mess for this shed if I put it there. So if I move it just a little bit over, it's in between the 2 mulberries, and I can cut those branches back so it doesn't get too much you know, mulberry on it. Chicken coop right here, fenced in area, chicken coop, a little area for them to get out and do their business. And then I'm going to have a corridor that's going to be basically a fence behind the greenhouse here, so I could open a gate right here and the chickens can come out and go into the food forest, and this will be all fenced in, so they'll have their own little area back here so they can free range the food forest every so often, like on these quick little, you know, jaunts. So that'll be nice. This is my greenhouse here. Connections, right? Because you got like composting going on like right here. You got the chickens, the shed to the chickens, right? The water. You got the greenhouse here, chickens, compost, chickens, garden, chickens, greenhouse. And I can let them in there when I don't have plants, and they can eat up all the weeds that have formed on the base of the greenhouse. So that's cool too. Decided to put the kids' trampoline in the back behind the greenhouse here because it's nice and hidden, and it's a big thing. You know, it's kind of not the prettiest thing to look at. Those big trampolines. So that's there, and I'll have a nice shade tree to grow up over it. So it has that water tank in the corner. Why? Well, there's this old building here that's a huge roof, right? And it's just like a place these guys use for storage, and they said it's cool that I put up a gutter on here and just collect that rainwater. So I'm gonna take advantage of this giant roof, probably get tons of rain water, you know, out of that, and so that will then feed this system here. So I can have a little submersible pump and just feed this system or whatever, or just gravity feed it into the system. So so anyways, that's the design. All the connections here, I could go on for days about how the connections work in, you know, more detailed ways, but if you guys got something out of that, and be happy to answer any questions anybody has, and give you a tour. So pretty much I'm done with the backyard. The only thing I haven't done on this is the lawn, the chickens. Haven't put in the tank yet, and I haven't finished the pond. Yeah, so pretty much everything else, but the front yard is blank right now. It's still like that water-wise landscape design these guys did, and yeah, I'm ready for changing that because it's ugly. And that's going to be my winter project, pretty much this, and well, it's all my winter project. So you can see the direction there. So thank you. You guys have a good one.